I think that's just like I remember a Reggie Miller quote where he said 80% of his talking was for himself and 20% of it was just to see if he could get in the other guy's head.
He wasn't talking. He was like
Jalen Ramsey.
The guy just separated his shoulder and he's still pushing him in that shoulder. But anyway, who the Jags play next week?
Jags, they play Texans.
Who's the dirty player on the Texans that he has to injure?
DeAndre Hopkins.
DeAndre Hopkins, what has he done wrong? What is he problematic for?
Oh! I thought you meant like for them to win.
he needs to injure the problematic player.
And he's probably going to end up injuring Will Fuller, unfortunately.
Will Fuller always gets hurt.
That's what I'm saying.
I did have a Will Fuller take. Will Fuller is good for at least 150-yard catch a game. Always.
Dude, Will Fuller is the best wide receiver that will definitely get hurt every year. That you just can't take in fantasy because he gets hurt. You just can't take him.
He's a poor man's Antonio Brown.
Yeah, he's incredible. I mean, he is so fast and just like he's so explosive.
He is. All right. I don't really want to do an overreaction for this game. Let's move on.
All right.
Philadelphia.
Wow.
Washington. Philly should have lost this game. Philadelphia,
There's
stink.
Two overreactions you can have.
They
First
stink.
of all, no, they shouldn't have. That was a bullshit backdoor cover by Washington.
They should have lost. Well, after the first half, they should have lost this game. Washington said, "Come on, guys, we're tanking. We gotta lose this game."
Washington is what Washington. This is what I'm saying. It's like certain things has happened a couple times. Whereas like Washington was like, "Oh yeah, that's right, we're the Redskins," and like Philly was like, "Yeah, that's right, they don't have an offensive line." Did you hear Geis is hurt?
Yeah, that sucks. I don't know if he's ever going to be able to stay on the field. Which really sucks. Adrian Peterson will be back. I just want to talk about Philly because we didn't expect the Redskins to even be close in this game.
No, not at all.
They did it without what's his name? Trent. Who's the
Williams?
Yeah, Trent Williams, great lineman. But it doesn't matter. Well, I just want to see Dwayne Haskins play for the Redskins. That's all I care about this year for the Redskins. I wanted to see Darius Geis and Dwayne Haskins. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Philly, I'm tired of the media. They were crowning them the NFC champs before the season even started. They said they're the favorite. They stink. They're not good. They're. Let me pull up my notes. Go ahead. You say something while I pull up my notes.
Deshaun Jackson is back.
No, he's not. This is the one game Deshaun Jackson is going to have. He has this game every year where everyone's like, "Oh man, Deshaun Jackson, he still got it. He's not going to do anything the rest of the year." This is my takes.
He's got it.
The offensive line for Philly, they're not good. They're really going to miss, what's his name? Gosh, I'm trying to find my notes. Chris Long. They're really going to miss Chris Long. And Jason Peters, he's getting old. This offensive line they're not the same offensive line that Philly thinks. Everyone's expecting them just to run away. They got Carson Wentz back. I don't think Carson Wentz is even close to that MVP form. They got lucky. You know who the leading rusher was for the Eagles?
Who?
Darren Sproles.
I was going to say, was it Sproles?
You can't win. You can't make the playoffs with Darren Sproles your leading rusher. It's not going to happen. It's impossible.
They'll have Wendell Smallwood and Jordan Howard getting
They both stink. They both stink. It doesn't matter.
I need to figure out how to use those guys. Not Smallwood. Who's their rookie that they got? Samuels? Someone.
It's Malcolm. No, it's the kid from Penn State. Miles Sanders.
Sanders, not Samuels. Sanders. Yeah, they got to figure out how to use Sanders and Jordan Howard. I think they'll be fine.
The secondary also stinks for the Eagles. This Eagles team stinks. That offensive line stinks. Yeah. The secondary stinks. The wide receivers aren't that good. Deshaun Jackson ain't going to beat anyone else in this league. They're not good. They're not going to do it. They're a 6-10 team. They're a pretender. They're a pretender. And everyone's going to overlook them because they came back and they beat Washington. They're not good. Without Deshaun and Zach Ertz having a great second half to save them, in Philly. That'd probably be the most pathetic thing I've ever seen.
Did you see the Mike Scott?
Yeah, I saw Mike Scott. I hate the Eagles. I hate their trash fans. I hate everything about them. They try to fight their own guy. Come on, that's Mike Scott. Oh, poor Mike Scott. Bad news about Mike Scott.
They were swinging at him.
Poor Mike Scott. And that wasn't even the worst thing that happened to him this weekend. The NBA banned the ninja headbands.
I know. I will say, Mike Scott knows that. He was wearing them. I will say, the great thing about Phillies fans is I believe every headline. I don't think I've seen a single headline of a Philly fan where I'm like, oh, no way.
They would do that?
I'll see anything. Yeah. Anything. I'd be like, yeah, I can see
The trash stays trash. They're the top of the trash. I'll give them that.
it.
All right.
No, I mean, here's the thing. Philly, they were not good in the first half. If they play like they did in the second half for the rest of the season, that's what people were expecting when they were saying top of the NFC East.
No, top of the NFC. Top of the NFC.
Oh, were they saying that? Well, I don't know about top of the NFC. Well, I guess I saw a couple things about them in the Super Bowl and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was just to not beat, because the classic picks are going to be Rams or Saints, or Vikings, and that was to not pick them. I don't know. If they play in that second half, which is what I think people were expecting, they're going to be very hard to stop.
You're going to see a mix of both. You're going to see a mix of both.
I just like Pedersen a lot. I like his play calling. He's just like, we're going for it on fourth.
One day it's going to bite him in the butt. I'm tired of him too. It's going to bite him in the butt one day.
I like Pedersen.
I don't like anything about it. I don't like anything about them. I think they're bad. I don't think they're good. I think they're bad. Anyway, let's move on to two actual bad teams.
Yeah.
Cincinnati and Seattle. Teams we didn't expect to be... One team we expected to be good. Seattle was bad. Terrible. Secondary stunk. Defense stunk. Andy Dalton due for a career high, 418 passing yards. And they did it without Joe Mixon, and they did it without A.J. Green. What's going on with Seattle?
Didn't you expect Seattle to just run all over this? Didn't you expect Seattle just to control this game from the get-go?
I did.
And they were fighting. They were coming from behind. They really shouldn't have won that game because they look like the worst team. And Cincinnati, that fumble late, I think that was questionable. And letting and Andy Dalton's not a bad quarterback. He's been a starter in the league for a long time. Letting Andy Dalton torch you for 400 yards, like, come on.
Andy Dalton and John Ross. I'll give John Ross credit. The speedster, he had the breakout. What people predicted last year, that happened today. Chris Carson, he couldn't get anything going. Russell Wilson can't do it alone. It's going to take a lot for the Seahawks. The only good news for Seattle, they escaped with a win. And just move on. Just move on.
All I want to know after week one. All you can ask for.
All right.
It's not good.
Another game that I didn't really expect to be close. I think I underrated Jacoby Brissett. I think that was the big thing.
Yeah, I guess underrated is the right word. I just said, well, this was what he was like last time. It's like he'll probably be better, but he was not good last time. But a lot of this, we saw Indianapolis. We saw their formula for it. And if teams, and it's run Marlon Mack 25 times.
They were phenomenal. The offensive line just gave
him run.
They just destroyed.
Mike Nelson and that offensive line. If you stop Marlon Mack, I think that's when you'll start to see Jacoby Brissett.
You got to stack the box against this team. You got to stack the box against this team. Indianapolis isn't. They don't have.
The tough thing, though, is you stack the box against this team. T.Y. Hilton loves working in space.
It's true. You're gonna have to figure it out. I still think you stack the box and then you run.
Stack the box and you just do zone over top, help over top for T.Y.
Yep, I agree with that. Hey, I'm gonna keep calling them San Diego because they're still San Diego in my heart. San Diego Superchargers. You survived. You did it without Derwin James. You did it without Melvin Gordon. Austin Eckler looked great. Phillip Rivers didn't have a great game. They still won. You won. Yeah. That's all you have to do.
It kind of sucks for Gordon, too, because he was watching that game being like, oh, they're not going to pay me. He was like, oh, they're not paying me.
Oh, boy. Austin, what are you doing, Austin? Also, sucks Devin Funchess is hurt. That destroys Indianapolis. And I think Adam Vinatieri, he might be almost done. He might be done.
I think that's the overreaction for the game.
I think Adam Vinatieri might be done.
He's washed. That's the overreaction. I think he had a bad game.
All right, let's talk about the worst game of the day.
Is it? Yep.
Detroit, Arizona.
Here's what I will say.
Patricia ruined it.
Is
he
it
blew
the worst
it.
game? Probably. Was I very excited to see Larry Fitzgerald have an actual quarterback? Yes, I was so excited. I like Kyler Murray. He's got it. Watching that game, watching that fourth quarter, he's got it.
I agree. I think Kyler's a tremendous athlete. He's got a great arm. I think it's going to take him a little longer to figure it out in the league than most quarterbacks. But once he does, once he gets help from the offensive line, it'll be there. Christian Kirk will be there with him. I don't know if I believe in David Johnson anymore.
It was good.
I don't know. He struggled the beginning of the game.
It was that. I mean, you got to remember too, Kingsbury. This is his first gig. I mean,
I don't like Cliff Kingsbury either. Forgot about that.
They're gonna be, and I mean, it was not a good play calling system in the first 3 quarters, but it was interesting. I mean, I thought for you to be a rookie quarterback, to have to throw the ball 54 times and to have to make a comeback and to even get out of it with a tie, and really probably should have gotten the win. He's got it. I mean, that's what you want to see. And I think, Murray being able to run around and do things and get just his ability, he just flicks his wrist and the ball goes 60 yards. I mean, that it's finding Larry. It's going to be great.
I think Detroit, I did like how much, dude, I loved seeing Larry Fitzgerald play well again. That's still awesome. I can't believe he's still doing it. I loved it. But
also, Hawkinson.
I did want to say that. Last thing I wanted to say about this game is I'm not done. I'm going to see what Detroit can still do. Because I like this offense still. I like Kerryon Johnson. I like T.J. Hawkinson a lot. Danny Amendola, Marvin Jones.
They got
Let's see what they can do.
Can you believe, what was Amendola thinking? I don't understand.
I don't know.
He must have really, really had a bet going on that 3.5 line or whatever.
I don't know what he was doing, man. I don't know what anybody for that.
Get out of bounds.
Detroit just wanted to
get out.
Detroit didn't want to win the game. They didn't want to win the game. Anyway,
yeah.
We have a new offensive genius in the NFL. We have the next Sean McVay. He is the offensive coordinator I've been waiting for. He's a Boise State legend. He's a Dallas Cowboys quarterback legend. They got all the old Dallas quarterbacks now. John Kitton is the QB coach. Jason Garrett, he's clapping his way up there. And now we got Kellen Moore as the OC. And they have a perfect game plan. The Giants, they're not good. They're not good. But he gave Dak the ability to be successful. He did everything that Dak needed to do. He gave him quick outs. We have a great 3-man receivers. We have such a good 3-man receivers. Randall Cobb, Michael Gallup, Amari Cooper. And we didn't even really need Zeke. Zeke didn't even have to do anything because Dak was so good. He had 400 yards. He got to make easy plays and gave him confidence, and he made the plays with his feet that he needed to make. The offense was phenomenal. I loved Kellen Moore's offense. Defense after that first touchdown was good. They were really good, actually. But I want to see them be better. I think they're better than that. And then we beat a bad team. We did what we had to do.
Yeah, I mean, so the Giants weren't helping themselves out at all by not running to Saquon, which I don't understand. I mean, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Yeah, I really do think that I think that this Dallas team is very difficult to deal with, and I also think that Jerry Jones is pocketbook. He's gonna have to write a check.
Yeah, probably.
If I'm not doing a contract talk with Dak until after another week.
They're not going to do it right now. Dak's not worried about the contract. He said it earlier. He's like, I got all these endorsements. I'm making over $50 million in endorsements. I'm okay. I don't need the contract right now. Let's focus on the season. But yeah. I think this is the best Cowboys team they've had in a long time, and I think Jerry knows.
Their line, Fredericks, all of them, they're back.
Oh yeah, Travis Frederick coming back is huge. Then we got Tavon Austin also out there. Well, he'll get more touches. He had the playoff touches. This is the best Cowboys team we've had in a long time. I think Jerry knows this is the last chance he has to win a ring, get a ring out of him.
Yeah.
And I'm sticking with my picks. Cowboys, Patriots, Super Bowl. Sticking with it. And I wasn't disappointed after week 1. Both those teams showed out.
All right. You know what? I think we're actually going to the worst game of the week now.
This was pretty bad. Yeah, this was bad.
The only reason why this wasn't as bad as the overtime thriller is because it looked like San Francisco had Tampa Bay by the jaws, but the only reason they did that is because Jameis Winston gave them 12 points.